welcome back to my channel. In today's video, it's going to be kind of fun. I'm doing a mom tag video, which I've never done a tag video like this before, but I felt like this would be a great way for you guys to get to know me a little bit better, and I just thought it would be really fun just to go through these questions and answer them for you. If you guys are unfamiliar with what a mom tag video is, basically I'm going to be answering 20 questions all related to motherhood, and hopefully the mothers that I tag in this video are going to recreate this video and tag somebody else. I am doing today's video in collaboration with two of my YouTube friends, Brittney and Allie. They each run their own motherhood related channel. Allie is actually a working mom. She's a flight attendant. She has one little boy, and then she's also pregnant with her second boy. I love Allie's channel because I think it is so cool that she is a flight attendant, and I secretly always wanted to be a flight attendant. So I really enjoy watching her flight attendant vlogs and just her videos in general. Brittney's channel is full of humor. She cracks me up, you guys. If you're looking for a good laugh, please go watch Brittney. Brittney is absolutely hilarious, but she's also very down to earth and real and a very kind person, and she is a boy mom as well. She has a little boy who's a little bit older than Scarlett. So if you guys are looking for some new channels to watch, those are two I would definitely recommend. Anyways, I do want to tag a few other mamas to keep this little tag video going. It's so much fun. So I am going to tag my friends Krista and Rashelle, and maybe we'll keep this little tag going. Before I get started with today's video, if you guys haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe if you are new to my channel. We would love to have you as a subscriber, and also make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like tag videos like this. Anyways, I haven't even read through these questions yet, so let's go ahead and get started. The very first question is, how old were you when you had your first child? I was 24. I was 23 when I got pregnant and then turned 24 before I had Scarlett. What was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? To be honest, I was one of those lucky few that had a really easy pregnancy. I didn't get sick, not even one time. I was very active. I stayed very active. I didn't really have to be restricted on anything. I worked out my entire pregnancy. I traveled, I did a lot of stuff, and just, I don't know, it was really easy. I would say the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months, specifically what I felt was the heightened sense of anxiety that came along with it, because if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that before we got pregnant with Scarlett, I actually had a miscarriage, and the entire pregnancy that I had with Scarlett, I was just terrified. Every single day, I honestly just had this sense of worry, like something was wrong, or like if she wasn't kicking, I thought worst case scenario. And I don't know, let me know if you guys felt like this too, because I talk about it now and saying it out loud, I feel kind of dumb, but it's the truth. And I don't know how many times I called our doctor just seeing if something was normal, or I don't know, I was just so worried. And I don't really talk about that, and I never really talked about that, but it was on my mind 24/7. Can you think of any good things you enjoyed during those 9 months? Yes, I can. I can't explain how wonderful it was just to lay on my bed, sit down, and just put my hands on my big belly and just feel her moving. It was the most magical experience I've ever felt in my life, and it's probably one of the best moments of being a mother that I've just ever experienced. I feel like I was one of those moms who had an instant connection when I started feeling my baby move. So it was like a way I was communicating with her in the womb. I don't know, that sounds so weird. Some other good things about being pregnant that I loved the suspense of finding out the gender. I thought that feeling was so much fun and something that was going to be life-changing, obviously. I always wanted a boy. Because my family doesn't have any boys, I always wanted a boy, but I always knew I really wanted a girl too. So I was thrilled when I found out Scarlett was a girl, because I got my girl. In your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? I feel like this question is so big because everybody's childbirth experience is completely different. For me, I was so lucky, you guys, seriously, so lucky. I had a wonderful pregnancy. I had a fairly easy birth as well. I actually had a really easy birth. I shouldn't even complain about anything because it was all a really good experience for me. And I feel like it was talked up a lot more than it actually was for me. I feel like childbirth wasn't as bad as I imagined it was going to be, and it went pretty fast for me. My water broke at 4 o'clock in the morning. I had Scarlett. Actually, I was fully dilated by 1 o'clock that next afternoon. And things I was terrified of was the catheter. First of all, I've never had one, so I was terrified of that. I was terrified of the epidural, and I was terrified of tearing or being cut. And all those things happened, and they weren't as bad as I thought they'd be. I'm back to normal. I just feel like you can't have any kind of expectations when you're going into childbirth because you seriously never know what's going to happen. Would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? Honestly, no, I wouldn't have. I feel like everything that happened was supposed to happen the way it did happen, and I don't know, it was perfect. Does that sound cheesy? Because that's exactly how I feel. What would be your advice for someone who is about to have a baby? My biggest advice for somebody who's about to have a baby is, especially if it's your first baby, soak up all of those moments. Try not to stress, try not to worry, focus on the good, focus on the positives. Hold your belly as much as you want because you never know if you're going to be able to do that again. Feel your baby kick as much as you want. Eat that extra cookie if you want that cookie. Don't worry about your weight. With that being said, I'd also strongly recommend staying active throughout your pregnancy because it does make a huge difference. At least it did for me, and I guess I don't have anything to compare it to, but I feel like the fact that I was super active throughout my pregnancy helped me have a speedy recovery and helped me have an easy childbirth and an easy pregnancy. So I would highly recommend staying active as much as you can as well. The last piece of advice that I give to somebody who's about to have a child, or even if it's your first child, if you are planning on breastfeeding, take a class, do more education on it, do as much education on it as you can actually, but I would highly recommend taking a class because I didn't and I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So I would highly recommend doing something like that if that's what you plan to do, so it's not as stressful. I mean, it's still gonna be hard, but it's not gonna be as hard because you'll kind of have an idea of what to do, which I was super unprepared for that. So maybe that's another thing that I would have changed when I was pregnant, was taking more classes. What has been the hardest thing about being a mom? I would say the hardest part for me personally, and any other moms who have gone through or similar situations with Scarlett's health issues, is just not seeing your baby be normal, I guess. I hate saying that and I hate using that term, but it's true. And you know, she's been in some kind of brace for, I don't even know, like 12, 13 months, 14 months of her life. I don't know, I can't even keep track of it. But over 3/4 of her life, she's been in some kind of brace, whether it was for her head or for her hips, because she's had plagiocephaly, torticollis, and hip dysplasia. So that's been the hardest part for me personally about being a mom, is dealing with these medical concerns that you honestly didn't expect. I never thought this would be something we'd be dealing with today, and you just never really know, I guess. So this has probably been the one thing that's been hardest for me as a parent and has really challenged myself personally. And honestly, it has made me a stronger mom through all of this, but it has definitely been the biggest challenge of motherhood for me. What has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? So kind of feeding off that last question, the most 100% hands down, the most rewarding part about being a mom for me is seeing my child happy even when I know things are difficult at that time. So I can tell you the exact moment that made me proudest to be a mom. I don't know why I always get emotional about this. Come on, Caitlyn, get it together. Okay, the best moment in my life of being a mom is when Scarlett started walking in her hip dysplasia brace, and it didn't affect her at all. That hands down was the best moment in my life being a mom, because she showed me in that moment how strong she is. She showed me how easy it is to overcome little things that I am so worried about. She pretty much slapped it in my face and said, "Mom, you're worrying about nothing. Look at me, like I can do this." And so to me, that was a huge deal. And probably the most rewarding moment in my life for being her mother. Okay, so the next question is, what was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom? I don't know if this makes sense, but to me, the most surprising thing about having a baby in general is how much more work you're going to have to put into your marriage to keep it alive and keep it functional and happy. And that's probably been the most surprising part about that. Because you don't really realize, or at least I didn't realize how different your marriage would be after a baby comes along. I just thought it would be the same, and it is different. It's completely different. It's a good different, but it is different, and it is something you kind of have to grasp and understand. And if you can understand that prior to having a baby, understanding how much it will change your life between your spouse and yourself, then maybe it'll be a little easier. When people say a baby really does change your life, it does change your life. Not just because of you being a mom, but because it changes the whole family aspect of your home. And you do have to put more effort into being a wife and to being a spouse and a partner. So that's probably the thing that surprised me the most about having a child. What is the best memory you have involving your child? I feel like I kind of already shared this with the whole Scarlett walking in her hip dysplasia brace. So I'm gonna tell you another memory that I have with Scarlett. I'm just gonna think of a current memory and something that I feel like I'm gonna look back on for the longest time. Every single morning when she wakes up, and probably about 20 other times during the day, she'll come to me, she'll grab my hand, and she'll say, Gaga, Gaga. And I don't know why she calls birds and ducks Gagas. That's just how she says it. I don't know. I think she's trying to say quack quack, but she says Gaga and then refers to any kind of bird as that. Anyways, I'm off track. She'll come over to me, she'll grab my finger, and she'll pull me to this window over here in my bedroom, and she wants me to just sit down with her and look out the window and look for birdies. Honestly, I feel like it is such a sweet moment and something that I feel like I'm always going to remember between her and I. So I always try to make sure that whenever she comes to me and asks me to do that, I do that, because I never want to have a regret that I didn't do that with her. What was the most exciting milestone? I would say, I feel like I keep going back to this whole walking thing, basically because I didn't know if she would be walking on time or if she would be developmentally delayed because of the hip dysplasia and stuff. But obviously that is the most exciting milestone for me. But despite that situation, I would say just in general, when she was able to sit up and hold things and play with things instead of just having to lay there, that was a really big milestone for me too, because she was able to start to learn to entertain herself and just interact with me and my husband a little bit more. So that was another big milestone for us. If you want to get real serious, another huge milestone for us was when she started sleeping through the night and when she was able to hold her own bottle. What is the worst thing your child has ever done? I don't know. I mean, she's a baby still, so I feel like she can't really do anything wrong because she doesn't really know. I would say the worst thing she's ever done is probably destroying some of my MAC lip gloss. So that would probably be the worst thing she's done. She got into my, I don't even remember the shade of it, but it was a bright red lipstick, and I don't know how I didn't see her doing this, but she went in her bedroom and she took the red, I should have taken a picture of this, it was hilarious, but she took the red lipstick and she smashed it all over her Lorena Canal rug, and there's a big stain actually on the rug now, but it was all over her, and this lipstick does not come off easy, so I had to like completely scrub her down. It was a disaster. What habit did you wish your child didn't have? Can I say the whining? Because she whines a lot. She started to whine a lot, and when she wants something, instead of communicating with me, which I know this is age appropriate, but instead of communicating with me, she'll just go like and I'm like, Scarlett. I try to talk her through it and I try to use words with her, but it's an age appropriate thing. The next question is, what habit of theirs makes you most proud? Oh, I would definitely say her independence, although sometimes it drives me crazy because sometimes I just want to cuddle her, or I want her to sleep with me, take a nap with me or something like that. Sometimes I really want that, but she doesn't want anything to do with that. She likes her crib, she likes to sleep in her room, she doesn't want to sleep with me, she doesn't want anything to do with me while she's sleeping. She likes her space, which is wonderful. Don't get me wrong, it's wonderful, but sometimes I'm like, oh, how sweet would it be just to lay down with you and you take a nap with me. But we've tried it before and it's just not even, maybe someday, but it's just not even worth trying right now because she just gets angry and wants to go in her crib. So maybe someday. She also has such a funny personality. Scarlett is hilarious. She's so funny, and I mean, I don't know, maybe all babies are like this, but I just think the things she does sometimes, she just has such a personality. It's amazing. I'm so happy she does, but she just cracks me up. And if you guys watch my vlogs, you've probably seen stuff like that. Do you share any similarities with your child, both physical and personality? Well, I don't know, do you guys think Scarlett looks like me or looks like Ty? I know you guys don't see Ty too much on my channel, but I mean, I see so much of Ty and Scarlett. I think it's hard for you to see yourself in your own child, so I don't really know. I mean, I know there's things about her that resemble me. I think she has my nose. I don't know, I feel like she has my husband's eyes, but she has my eye color. Where would you like your child to be in 10 years? So in 10 years, she'll be 11 years old, and I mean, obviously she's going to be in school. I'm hoping she is excelling in some kind of sport. Crossing my fingers, it's dance or gymnastics or cheer or something like that, because that's kind of what I grew up doing. So I would love her to do something like that, but if she's more sporty, I guess you could say, I would love for her to play soccer or something like that. I hope she is a very kind-hearted child. I hope she is respectful. I hope she has empathy and is sympathetic towards others' needs. I hope she shows emotion, and I hope she also can stick up for herself and not hold back in certain situations. I hope she speaks her mind, and I don't know. I hope she is a perfect mixture between Ty and I really hope she is. What is something that having a child has taught you? But I would say the main things that having a child has taught me is to be the best person I can be for her. Being in my life has honestly taught me to hold on to my dreams, take care of myself, be a better wife, be a better human, be a better person, and set an example, lead by example, 100%. I think what I'm trying to say is Scarlett being in my life has made me realize how important family is to me, and how important the things I do today are going to affect her tomorrow are. And I just want to be the best mother I can be for Scarlett. So you imagine that you'd be a mom at the age that you became a mom. I did, 100%. I always knew I wanted to be done having children by age 30, and I know a lot of people don't like to put timelines on this, but it's just what I always wanted for my life. Describe your child in a single sentence. My daughter is hilarious. She's independent, she's stubborn, she's bullheaded, but she is very sweet. She's very loving, she's very kind, and she is just a very sweet soul. How have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? I feel like I've kind of answered this question and some of the other questions as well, but overall, since becoming a mom, I feel like I have more drive and want to accomplish goals. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to take extra steps. I'm not afraid to step outside of my comfort zone, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think becoming a mom really just helped push me to becoming the best person I can be by realizing everything I do right now is for my future and for my daughter's future and for my family's future. So I feel like becoming a mom really just helped me learn to not care about what other people think of you. Not everybody's going to agree with your style of parenting, the products that you use, the way you dress your child, whatever. So I think I've learned just to not care as much. I'm not saying I never care about what people say, but sometimes I just don't even care. I'm like, you know what? I'm doing what I should be doing. My daughter is happy and healthy, and yeah, just do you. Okay, you guys, that's everything. I hope you all enjoyed this video. This was such a fun video for me to make, so I really hope you liked it. And if you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and if you want to follow us along even more, go over to Instagram. You can give us a follow over there, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.